Tonight on Evening.
My name is Inigo Montoya.
Princess Bride legend and Tony and Emmy Award winner Mandy Patinkin on his upcoming Seattle show. How this tulip farm is helping veterans grow.
So we get them out there, we get them working in the dirt, whether it's sowing seeds or picking weeds.
And how you can win a $5,000 getaway to unforgettable Grays Harbor.
Welcome to the show from the truly iconic Johnson Candy Company in Tacoma's Hilltop neighborhood. I'm St. Brian, and we are here on the day after Easter to celebrate one family's dedication to making life in the Northwest sweeter for 100 years.
And I'll take a dark raspberry bunny.
The day after Easter is usually a pretty nice day because it means we've made it through our major holidays and the summertime's coming.
5 of those chocolate caramels.
The customers are still coming in, but in trickles, giving Bill Johnson time to reflect on 100 years of this sweet life, dating back to his grandfather's decision in 1925 to start making candy for the family lunch counter.
He thought he could make candy about as good as the stuff they were buying, and so he got some candy making equipment and some recipes and started making candy there.
In the 40s, Bill's grandfather built this Art Deco candy shop, a Tacoma landmark. His father inherited the business in the 60s, and Bill's been here for more than 20 years.
We make a lot of old-fashioned candy like peanut brittle and divinity and fudges and caramel. We make everything from scratch.
Upstairs, Juanita Smith hand-dips open-faced caramel. Kathy Todd is the candy company packer.
Chocolate is just always going to be popular with people. People love chocolate, and people like small family businesses like ours that do things kind of an old-fashioned way.
When a company is named after your family, it can be a great responsibility. On Saturday, during the Easter rush, one of Bill's 2 sons helped run the register. Could a 4th generation someday take over?
If it's around and it's something they want to do, then that would be great. We'll just have to see.
Spending the day in a candy shop, I knew there was a reason to get into this business. Johnson Candy Company is open every day of the week but Sunday. You know, when actors and singers reach legendary status, they put up walls to keep the public at bay. But that's not the case with Emmy and Tony winner Mandy Patinkin, who is coming to Seattle to perform on Saturday.
Where is my wandering boy tonight? Where is my wandering boy?
I'm not a genius who writes these songs like a pop singer, but I do sing songs written by geniuses, and they're classic because you want to hear them over and over and over again. And I'm the guy who delivers the mail.
Is this just fantasy?
He's a bit more than a mailman. If only the face is familiar, you surely know Mandy Patinkin from 1987's The Princess Bride.
My name is Inigo Montoya. You killed my father. Prepare to die.
Or as the star of Chicago Hope. Long before either production, Mandy was a Tony Award-winning Broadway performer who can still absolutely inhabit the lyrics of songs from masters like Stephen Sondheim and Randy Newman.
Where is my wandering boy tonight?
Songs he's been practicing on walks through the woods since 1989.
Every time I take a walk, I run a concert. I run at least an hour and a half worth of songs.
Since the pandemic, Mandy and his wife Catherine Grody have opened up their private lives in often touching ways.
2 weeks from today, we will have been together for 15,695 days. That is one of the beautiful things about this woman, that she has been willing to stay with me, put up with me, and deal with me, give me children, give me all the gifts that I've received in this life that are incredible for 15,695 days minus 2 weeks.
Wow.
That big heart also comes with a big voice, and Mandy loves nothing better than performing on stage.
Thank you for the...
And there's nothing like being on stage with a live audience. It's the drug of addiction for the performer, period. I'm blessed to do all these other things that I get to do Feel very lucky about all of that. But if you said to me, you got to pick, man, you got to pick one thing and one thing only, I'd pick the live concert venue, hands down.
If you see him, tell him everything's all right. Push him toward the light. Where is my wandering boy?
You can see Mandy Patinkin in concert this Saturday at the Paramount. On this tour, he's been performing Queen's Bohemian Rhapsody. The audiences tend to giggle when they recognize the number, but by the end of this number, they are absolutely blown away.
Up next, how visiting this tulip farm can help veterans thrive.
Our mission at Growing Veterans is to empower veterans and volunteers to cultivate purpose and belonging by growing food, community, and each other.
And a Chuckanut Drive destination for seafood lovers.
It's very good. And the view.
Wow!
Local stories make a difference.
I want to check that out.
With the power to enrich lives, strengthen communities, and make us smile. Evening is made possible by Primera Blue Cross. Primera Blue Cross, always in your corner.
Welcome back to the show from Johnson Candy Company in Tacoma. The Skagit Valley Tulip Festival is in full bloom right now, and there's a flower farm there that has joined a great cause, helping veterans thrive and grow.
The tulips growing in the Skagit Valley field have a special mission: supporting veterans. Growing Veterans is a Northwest nonprofit giving vets dirt therapy on one of their 2 Western Washington farms.
So we get them out there, we get them working in the dirt, whether it's sowing seeds or picking weeds. You know, we got them doing anything and everything.
Logan Hilgers, retired from the Army National Guard, did 2 tours in Iraq. Today, he helps growing veterans grow.
Our mission at Growing Veterans is to empower veterans and volunteers to cultivate purpose and belonging by growing food, community, and each other. The vision is to end isolation that leads to suicide.
The organization needs to raise more funds to get through the season, so they turn to tulips for help.
The first farm I reach out to is Tulip Valley Farms, owned by a veteran who had been to one of our peer support training classes.
I can't think of another tulip farm that's owned by a veteran in the world, actually, so.
They asked Air Force veteran and tulip farmer Andrew Miller if he'd donate a portion of his Tulip Farms ticket sales to Growing Veterans.
Andrew was just absolutely, yes, let's do this.
I love that it's really grassroots. You know, it's just veterans using agriculture and really farm therapy to get together and help to solve each other's problems.
Nobody needs another excuse to enjoy the beauty Skagit Valley serves up every spring. But a tiptoe through these tulips is a way to support the veterans who serve us all.
I look forward to continue to work with growing veterans, and I hope that people see the value of growing veterans in our community.
Okay, perfect.
Great cause to visit Tulip Valley Farms and help support growing veterans. You'll have to buy your tickets online, and we've got the link on our website, king5evening.com. And speaking of escaping to the tulip farms, well, it is that time of year again. Voting is now open for Best Northwest Escapes. From the best beaches to the coolest campgrounds, it's time to get outside and explore. And it's time to vote in the 29th annual Best Northwest Escapes. Go to king5.com/escapes to vote for your favorites. Each vote enters you to win a Grays Harbor getaway to Seabrook, Westport, and Ocean Shores worth $5,000. You deserve a vacation, and you need to tell us about your favorite places to vacation. Vote for your favorite Best Northwest Escapes right now. And here's some inspiration for a weekend escape. It's a seafood stop along a well-loved scenic byway. This is totally worth the road trip. Let's head over just north of Bow Edison.
A hairpin turn along Chuckanut Drive, which spans Oyster Creek, which flows down to Samish Bay, and a place raising shellfish from tide to table for more than a century.
We are at Taylor Shellfish Sandwich Bay, right off Chuckanut Drive. We grow oysters, clams, and gooey duck, and we also serve them. So it's a kind of a unique experience for people to come here and dine on oysters and also see where they're grown and the process of harvesting them.
This seafood stop is a working farm. Planting and growing shellfish in these pristine waters and growing a worldwide fan base.
Oh, this place is fantastic. We're actually from Canada. Yeah, but we live in Shanghai, so that we don't get to eat this very much. So it's very good. And the view.
Yeah, the view. This is perfect because you get all the seafood, the sunshine.
Like getting oysters from Washington and saying, oh, they grew right out here. It's as fresh as it gets.
One of the reasons for that freshness, the oysters, clams, and gooey duck they grow here don't leave the sea after they're harvested.
This is water that's pumped in from Sandwich Bay, so all the oysters are kept live and as fresh as possible for serving.
The most popular order here is the Shucker's Dozen, a variety of raw oysters served with a variety of sauces. On weekends, the line gets long, and the shucking crew works hard.
We'll do over 1,000 people on a busy Saturday, shucking about 2,000 to 3,000 oysters a day.
Thank you.
Charles has a counterintuitive tip for beating the crowds.
Definitely come here later in the day. For some strange reason, when we're at our most beautiful during the sunset, we're not as busy.
A retail seafood market means you can take some of this bounty home, and there's a selection of wine and brews picked to pair with seafood. Even if you're not an oyster lover, a visit to Taylor Shellfish Sandwich Bay will fill you up on scenery. And if this is your idea of a perfect meal, this is the place to live that phrase, when the tide's out, the table's full.
Taylor's Shellfish Sandwich Bay is open 7 days a week from 11 to 7, and carpooling is encouraged because parking there is just a little tight.
Up next, the 93-year-old bartender keeping this legendary Lake City bar jumping.
Turn on the heat.
And later, the small house on Queen Anne making beautiful music. Best Northwest Escapes is sponsored by unforgettable Grays Harbor County. Portions of Evening sponsored by Bloodworks Northwest.
Hey friends, Jose here, with a way you can win a sunny trip and help save lives. Bloodworks Northwest wants to send you to the sandy shores of Maui. All you need to do to enter is to donate at one of Bloodworks' 13 donation centers by the end of April. One lucky donor will win a trip for two to Maui that includes airfare, accommodations, and excursions. Bloodworks needs 1,000 donors daily to maintain a safe and reliable blood supply. If you'd like to make a life-saving appointment for yourself, go to bloodworks.n/w.org and click on Schedule a Donation. Good luck and aloha!
Welcome back to the show. It is the day after Easter at Johnson Candy Company in Tacoma, celebrating 100 years, and they've got the t-shirts to prove it. We have a memorable 5-star dive bar for you, featuring a bartender who loves his job so much he is still pouring drinks well into his 90s. Here's Jose.
It's normally pretty quiet on 9002 Lake City Way, but on Fridays a familiar face arrives. And people start showing up.
It's only Friday, but it's another welcoming day.
If you're planning to visit this bar, Fridays is your only chance.
The Shanty Tavern, a great place to come to.
But once you meet bartender John, you know it was worth the wait.
And my family means my customers, their family. I have my home and I have my Shanty bar.
My father, John, owns the place. He doesn't want to give up the business. As a kid growing up, it was our playground. Every moment with him is precious.
The bar's got lots of character because of the person behind the bar is a character. That's unique. Just the hospitality is genuine.
When was the last time you had a bartender that was 93 years old? The love that John has for this tavern goes way back. He got this place in 1961 and decades after decades, the connection never fade away.
Why you like this place so much?
It's something about people, talking with people, serving people.
The drink menu, it's simple here. No hard liquor for sale.
But you're welcome to have beer and wine. If you need a glass of water, it's free.
As you see, it's more than having a drink or two. It's about having a good time.
And if you think it's fun at daytime, wait for nighttime, because that's where the party starts. Tell me about the music. I've seen some photos of you on stage.
I have sang with the band on occasion. I've even danced with a customer on the floor. When I come here, of course, you know, turn on the heat.
As the music keep playing, the crowds keep arriving, and John, well, keep turning up the heat. It was very clear to me that this was gonna be a special night.
All right, thank you, Jose. At 93, John keeps the Shanty Roadhouse rockin' every Friday night.
Up next, the Queen Anne Master Craftsman bringing violins and cellos back to life. Now in our 39th season, Evening shares local stories that make our community shine. Thanks to support from PEMCO Insurance. PEMCO empowers the Northwest to prevent the preventable. Learn how at PEMCO.com.
Welcome back to the show from Johnson Candy Company in Tacoma. Inside a small greenhouse on Queen Anne Hill in Tacoma, you will find a master at work, restoring priceless instruments that date back hundreds of years. Photojournalist Diane Lewis-Torrey has the story.
Violins, violas, and cellos. I've got instruments that are built in 1590. I'm Rafael Carraba, and I have a business restoring fine instruments, also student grade. This is a neck graft. We do major restorations and minor repairs. Just about everything that's to do with stringed instruments.
This is the only spot that we're going to patch, so it's really the only spot I need to cast. This releases all the bubbles.
Our specialty is known for what we are able to do with cellos.
Because that's really heavy. And this is the cast I'm going to use to put a patch here.
You know, we love working on cellos. People from around the United States have heard of us. And then there's the restorations that take a year or two to complete, that are very detailed. Started when I was 11, 12 years old. My mother was working at a violin shop. She was a violinist, working for David Saunders. He was a really wonderful man, and he hired me for 25 cents an hour back then. After about a year or two working there, he said, "One day this will be yours." And you know, I thought, fine. That's in fact what I, you know, at that point at 14, I knew that I was going to do this all my life. Come on back. Yeah.
Go back.
The fun of working here is dealing with the customers, making relationships. That's a lot of the joy that I have. There she is.
Very beautiful. I appreciate the good work.
This is where people try out instruments. I wouldn't go anywhere else to have work done on this cello. I would only come here because it's a $100,000 cello. It's all old world. We're back 400 years or something because they're doing this intricate work, and they screw up. They destroy an $8 million, $16 million cello. Kaboom.
I think it's like neurotic. It's become that way. But I'm happily doing it. I'm glad. It's pretty, isn't it? I mean, it's always fun to polish something. That's a lot of fun, you know, knowing that recreated something that will be good for at least another 100 years.
Raphael's violin and cello restoration business is considered one of the best in the world, and now you know why. Thanks so much for enjoying the sweet life with me at Johnson Candy Company. Open every day of the week but Sunday. We'll catch you next time.